嘿，大家好，我是怎么 Jones。今天跟各位聊是最新一集的 Mind Game。由于当下 Nash 人在欧洲的关系，今天这集和下一集都将会是由 Haliburton 作为代班主持。今天从当初季中的锦标赛对战、美国队的经历，再到 Haliburton 自身的打法都有谈到，我们就一起来听听吧。
记得订阅、按赞、加入黑组王。
记得订阅，怎么唱
Podcast 一开始是聊到近期老詹的比赛状况，历史上其实仅有31位球员在40岁生日之后还有上场，仅有10位球员总上场时间超过1000分钟，且仅有5位得分上双。
You 24/7 and 7 since you turned 40. Michael Jordan averaged 22. Karl Malone 13. The real host Steve Nash 8 games over 40, 7 points and 6 assists per game. So I just want to ask, like, how are you able to still play at this level at this age?
Bro, it's very fascinating to me, and it's kind of like weird too at times. Like, it's times where I wake up on game days and I'll be like, I don't got it, man. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to work up. Just to. The that you need to get through a 48-minute game or however long you're on the floor. So, it took a lot out of me. Obviously, getting ready for the season, obviously, is well documented. My injury to start the season and missing missing the preseason, missing training camp, missing the first 14 games of the season, and just trying to get my back and my body back, according. So，
接着两人也谈到前阵子老詹受访时说到，接下来所有的背靠背都会是 TBD。这边再次解释了背靠背的疲劳以及各项因素的影响。
Depending on the schedule, depending on if you're flying from one, time zone to the next time zone, depending on what time you get back home or get to the next city, will have some factors on how you feel that next morning. But, I would say probably like over the last 3 years, 3-4 years, it's just like, it didn't matter if I was coming home. It didn't matter if we was going to a different city. It didn't matter the time zone. Just, the back-to-backs they wear on you just because of the travel, all the minutes I've played, all the cities I've continued to go to, each and every year. And I think one thing that doesn't get talked about a lot as well, too, is like all the different beds that we have to sleep in.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah, that's hard on your body, different pillows, different beds, different, that is taxing on your body too.
在谈完近期发生的事情之后，两人回到了场上的层面，而今天场上的部分蛮多都围绕在了六马队上。由于过去 Mind Game 就多次谈到六马带出一种新形态的打法，这边老詹就问 Haliburton， 确切在当初那笔交易之后，六马是如何塑造出今天的体系。
I rarely ever even think about how we started. Like it feels like so long ago. But like when I got traded with Buddy and Tristan, we were going somewhere that had no identity, right? They were restarting by making that trade and trading Sabonis for me. We were restarting everything. And I remember when I got there, we played Cleveland the first game, and Rondo was like, "Good luck," talking about playing with RC.
Oh,
he goes, "Good luck," and I'm like, "What is he talking about?" And the thing was, me and Buddy, we didn't know any of the plays. So we had played like a day or two after we got traded. We played Cleveland. We broke the Pacers record for scoring in a quarter. The first quarter we played in a Pacers uniform, and really what it was. Honestly, thinking about it, we played a lot of buddy ball. You know what I mean? Like me and Buddy were just come set the blur screen. I'm gonna come off. I'm gonna throw it to you. If you don't got a shot, throw it back, and then blur again. And we're just gonna play off this.
而 Hali 也说，因为当时和团队其他人的打法等等都很陌生，在下一场面对到灰狼的比赛，他甚至整场都跟 Buddy Hield 在传来传去。接着两人继续谈下去。
I remember we were playing Minnesota, like one of my first games in Indiana, and me and Buddy are just passing the ball to each other the whole game. And Taurean Prince on the sidelines like, "Hey man, y'all know there's other players on the team." I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a good point. I didn't realize that we are just throwing the ball to each other. But I felt like establishing that when we weren't good, and RC to pull me aside and just be like, "Hey man, I don't want to call plays. I want you to dictate what we do more. I want to play more random. It's harder to scout that way." And so we just kind of ran with that. And I feel like Buddy was a big part of that.
Hali 这边也说，其实在国王时期和 Buddy Hield 搭配的时候，他不怎么喜欢这样打，因为切入的时候感觉会有一个人一直卡在那里。但之后才逐渐了解到 Growth Screen 所能开创出来的机会，也逐渐喜欢上这样的风格。接着两人开始进入到第一届季中锦标赛冠军战的话题。
I think about that game often because we were playing so well up until that point. If we win that game, do we ever trade for Pascal? I don't know.
Right.
You know, because
I forgot all about that.
Like I didn't play well. You guys you came out, you blitzed. I still remember like it was yesterday, man. Like I came off the ball screen. I hadn't turned the ball over in 3 games. I was rolling. I came off. You were the MIG. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit this pocket, and you ran through and stole it. And that was before the take foul, so I just grabbed you. And you looked at me, and I looked at you, and I was like, oh shit, like we in trouble. This is gonna be a long night. Cause I was like, it's hard. Like I'm coming off a blitz, and I think like Cam Reddish might have started on me or Vando.
Yeah.
And then I had AD in a blitz with you as the MIG. It's almost impossible for me to make that pass.
Yeah.
And with me, I struggled that night, and we didn't have anybody else who really, got us going that night.
而实际上，在那个当下，溜马其实是缴出12胜8负的成绩 ，Haliburton 更是缴出了场均26.9分、12.1助攻、4.2篮板、1抄截的惊人成绩单。同年也是 Hali 首次入选明星赛，且正式迎来爆发的一季。接着在谈完团队的东西之后，两人开始聊到一些 Haliburton 的打法。
That is kind of like no one wants to coach it is the jump pass. Every time when I was a kid. All my coaches say, do not leave your feet to make a pass. Do not leave your feet. It's either going to be a turnover or whatever it is, and you get in trouble for it. Get on the line. If you jump and pass the ball.
Yeah, no, honestly, I blame people like you, like for why it's that way. Like growing up, I watched a lot of NBA basketball. That's like the main thing I watched, So I would see guys like you, and my dad loved like Magic, so we'd always watch old Magic highlights and stuff. Yeah. And I'd see them do that, and I understood, oh, this is a way for me to pass the ball. And and I was always a taller kid. So as guys got taller as well, it was just a way for me to always be seen over the defense. Like I felt comfortable making that read in the air. And I know coaches say they don't want to teach it, and it was like kind of like taboo in a sense.
而 Hali 也说到，这样的方式某种程度上可以让他增加阅读的时间，同时也说到自己跳起来的时候，通常已经有所规划，会有至少1到2个选项，并表示如果你没有想好该怎么做，那就不要这么做。接着老詹问 Hali 关于伤势复原的情况如何。
I'm approaching week 31 here, so almost going on 8 months. Man, I feel really good. My body feels really good. Just started playing like 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 full court. That's been good to like be with the interns and stuff. Gennaro Pargo being one of our player development guys. I'm playing with these guys, and I feel so nice. I'm like, oh, I could play an NBA game right now. And then the other day, we had like the low minute guys come and play with us. So we had like our 2As, Ethan Thompson, Cam Jones, Benedict Mathurin he's getting back from injury. So I'm guarding Ben. First play, he comes down, Hezi, shoots a 3. And they're like, go at him. And he's like, his leg. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, I'm fine. Like, attack me like normal. I got to see where I'm at. He hesied me one time. He was at the rim. I was still at 3-point line. I'm like, oh, I still got some time. Like I got to give myself some grace. Understand it's going to take some time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the biggest thing is like, I really am glad for where I am. I'm thankful for it.
Hali 也说自己在复原期间努力的增加了自己的对抗性，在跟 Seven 那个时候自己是180磅，现在已经到了210磅，也分享了自己努力想要试着去制造一些犯规的故事。
Just a way for me to be more physical at the rim to get more free throws. I think that's important versus just slowing the game down. Peyton's one of the guys I watch. I see the way he can get to a guy's chest at the rim. I think AR is like the perfect example. The way that he is so physical and can get to the free throw line. I remember when we were at the World Cup together, I used to always be like, bruh, I don't understand how you shoot all these free throws. Like, I'm a point guard. I play 40 minutes a game. I play way more than you. I can't even touch the free throw line. Right. He's like, Tyrese, I don't think you're doing a good job of getting the guys' bodies. Like, he was real honest with me, and I didn't understand at the time, but as I've watched you guys play more, watched him play more, I'm seeing the way that he just does such a great job of getting the chest, tangling arms, like making just all these like perfect reads to get to the free throw line is just something that I'm really trying to focus on adding through rehab and just as I watch the game.
接着，因为今年 NBA 多了需要打满65场才有资格入选奖项的这个规定 ，Hali 也分享自己受到这个规则的影响。
And I think when this was first implemented, I get the idea. We want more guys to play, and I was known as one of the first guys to say I hated it because the year the 65 game rule was implemented was my contract year. I had to play 65 games to make All NBA to be eligible for the Supermax. and I said that I didn't like it at the time, and I still feel that way. I
definitely don't like it.
Yeah, I've talked with Commissioner Silver, and like we talked about how like from a financial standpoint, it can only hurt so many people in that year. Guys who are like me at that time. It was me and LaMelo at that time that were trying to get that Supermax. But I think that's the biggest point is legacy talk, because what I think about is in 20, 30 years when I'm not playing and I'm hearing my kids argue about they want to compare eras or something, and they're going over the list of accolades, and they're telling me right now that, this guy might have only made All-NBA so many times, but he was ineligible, and they don't know that, and that could skew it in that way, which I don't necessarily appreciate in any way.
Podcast 最后一段聊到了两人在美国队的经历 ，Haliburton 聊到在奥运真正开打前的一次会议，我们就把这段当作是今天的结尾。
I have a great story. I've never told anybody this story before. So we're at the Olympics. We're in the back doing film before the Olympics start. And before it starts, it's like, all right, we're going to have the team meeting where we acknowledge that all 12 guys cannot play. And so Steve starts talking about how everybody can't play. And Bron is talking about how, in the 04 Olympics, I didn't really play that much, and you got to put your pride aside. It's about bigger than you. And Katie's over there, like, at the end of the day, we're 12 All-Stars, everybody's good. We're just trying to win, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm listening, I'm like, yeah. And as we start film, I'm like, but who are they talking about? Like, who are these? And I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, he ain't talking about him. He ain't talking about him. I'm like, oh, they talking about me. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, no, this is what it is. I was like, I was sitting there, I'm watching film. I can't even pay attention to film. I'm like, damn, it's over. It's over, man. Oh, I ain't get no PT out here. It's over.
I'm the one guy in the school project that didn't do nothing and got an A.
So I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, it's over. It's over for me. I'm not.
好了，那以上就是今天的影片。喜欢这部影片，请记得按赞、订阅及分享给更多人知道。我是怎么John，我们下次再见喽。